I'm Marty Lancaster,
I'm Carrie Lancaster.
and we've been with Gane Financial for probably more 20 years or more, starting with Rich Gane, who I met through my mom, basically, who has been a family friend for a long time.
We both are teachers now. Marty's been a teacher for his career. I actually started in a different career and then changed paths. And one of those reasons that I chose to go into teaching or change my career is because I had to be more conscious about financial decisions. And the original job I did didn't have a very good long-term financial plan. And as we were learning through Gane Financial was that you do need to be conscious of what you're planning for the long term. We have two beautiful girls and we want to enjoy our time with them. We want to plan for their future. And all of those pieces come together to help us with our legacy, with our long-term planning financially.
Yeah, we started with Rich Gane, and one thing I really liked about the financial education was he'd always give me a book first to read before we ever did anything. It was always read this so you understand why we're doing it, and then we'd actually do the process. And that was a lot of homework before we did any extra work. And then when Adam was introduced to the program, he tended to, I would say, bring it up to speed, bring it up to more current analogies and efforts, and simplify the model. And what I really liked was here's the plan. It's the defense and then the offense, right? And really kind of said, you can't do this until you do that. Made it really easy to understand why we were doing all these pieces and pulled it together in a really cool model that made sense for how each piece fit in it.
Yeah. And I find that because there's a learning piece to it, we can ask questions and then it becomes more collaborative in terms of your financial decisions. Instead of saying, here's where we're at, what do you recommend? And there's a piece of recommendation, but you also want to be invested in the decisions and feel confident in them. And by learning about why we're doing decisions, then it helps us see that we're making the right decision together with a professional guiding us, and understand where that's going to lay for our next decision and the next decision. It helps understand the information that we're learning and then seeing it visually, and we can see progress over time, which is really helpful to be able to know, okay, this is where we're at. We've now improved this. So we see it go from red to green. And then something else, we're like, okay, that will be our next goal. We're now going to move this one visually, and we can see that. And then having the updates after we've had a meeting, so we know what do we need to do, where are we at, that really keeps us on track.
Yeah, I agree. I like the process when it was hard for me, actually, because I didn't want to insure every single thing. But realizing you can't invest here without all the protection first. So you have to move through the colors, move through the system that was created to protect our investments. And that was, it was a hard learning curve, but seeing it laid out, if you don't have this, you'll lose these things, right? So what's the point of having this great investment if it's not protected? So showing if you got reds up here, you can't go down there, right? So it was really straightforward in the sense that your whole picture's got to be established. You have to go through the stages, the steps to get to safe financial security instead of, yeah, you got a great investment, but you just lost it because you weren't protected over there. So that shows up really easily in a color-coded system. But that helped me get more of the protections I needed for long-term investment.
One piece of advice I hear sometimes when I'm talking about all the benefits of working with you and here is that people are very fearful that they don't have money to invest. I can't have this, introductory meeting because I don't have any money. And they're very fearful. And I think that has to do with not understanding that educating, being part of the process, and getting that professional complement to your financial decisions helps you realize that there are strategies that you're not aware of. And I think that helps. That's one of the best things that I could say is that don't be fearful about engaging and learning about it and seeing what opportunities there are.
Yeah, I've recommended lots of people actually to Gane Financial over the years have joined and been great successful plans. And the reason I do that is because I always feel Gane Financial, Adam and Rich, we're both about educating and creating a path. in a way that was really stress-free. And they weren't just selling you products. They weren't insurance salesmen. They weren't mutual fund salesmen. They were that let's find out about you and figure out your path and what's important to you. And I think you can really feel that it matters to them to individually help you forward, not just because they want to sell you certain products, but because this is what's good for you. And that's what I think you really got to feel for. They're not just trying to sell me one thing, right? And that's, you find that in a lot of financial advice. It's, well, you should buy this, but that's the only thing I'm selling. Whereas he'll look at a bigger picture for you and talk through any investment you want to do and help you get there. So that's the important part is the individual care he takes, not just selling products.